Was Don Sweeney shortly after the Bruins were eliminated by the Florida Panthers. Panthers haven't closed out that cup yet, by the way. I saw Paul Maurice. I got angry. I saw Paul Maurice on SportsCenter this morning. I'd kind of forgotten about him. I was like, this bum's going to win a cup. I forgot about that. But not if Edmonton has anything to say about it. So, look, I heard that answer when it happened in real time. We reacted to it in real time here on Jones and Mego with Arcan on WEEI. You can still jump in on the Celtics. We'll get back to Tatum. How do you rank them? Our big Q at 2. Big question of the day up now.
Rank them.
On Jones and Mego. You can still react to Ramondre Stevenson. Got a $36 million deal from the Pats. He's being paid comfortably as a top 10 running back. Right move, wrong move. Is he the focal point of the offense? Why do they keep paying all these bums from a 4-win team? Again, you can weigh in there. But I felt pretty good about Ullmark moving when I heard Don Sweeney. And even when I listened to Ullmark in the breakup interviews, I'm like, this sounds like everybody kind of knows what's happening. But then yesterday happened. And Markstrom goes to the Devils. Darcy Kemper has moved as well to the Kings. Is that right? I think he went to the Kings.
Yes.
And so
for Dubois.
So those two, and that felt more of like less of a need per se and more of like a salary dump with Dubois with his giant contract. And so 2 goalies moved yesterday. The goalie musical chairs, I feel like, are coming to a stop. The one option that I've seen reported on, and this is from the Ottawa Sun, I believe, Bruce Garriock. Oh. While league sources told Post Media earlier in the day the Senators had already had stepped-up efforts to acquire goaltender Linus Ullmark from the Boston Bruins, Ottawa may be the last serious team in the mix. League sources say the Senators have circled back to the Bruins to see if there's a fit to acquire Ullmark to steady the club's struggling net, and those talks have intensified. So, again, that's the deal there. Their GM is, quote-unquote, making a hard push to acquire Ullmark. Like, I don't know why Ullmark would go there now. Like, he's already shut down trades there. I imagine Ottawa's got to be one of the teams on his no-movement list. So, like, why is he going to accept the trade there now? And this might be one I'd defend him on. Like, if you're just going to be the backup and you're going to be benched in the postseason anyway, don't you want to go start, make a contract push, and it's kind of a loser move? But it's not like you're going to a great franchise. I would get balking at going to that franchise. It's a terrible franchise, horribly run. So I would get not wanting to go there. And if that's the Bruins' only option, I don't know how realistic that is. I see reports that maybe they could get a top 10 pick for Ullmark. I would drive him to Ottawa to get that. Like, a top 10 pick for Ullmark would be a heist. That's a no-brainer. I don't know what leverage the Bruins have unless Ullmark finally wakes up and says, oh, wait, maybe this isn't the best place for my career. It might be great for my family. I may like it here, but maybe this isn't the best place for my career.
Do you think that the lack of rotation in the playoffs is going to be enough of a wake-up call that he'd look at the situation differently than he did at the trade deadline in the regular season?
Maybe.
He just doesn't strike me as that kind of guy.
I mean, he's benched.
Known that they've wanted to move on from him in some capacity for a year now. And he blocked it if any chance of him going to New Jersey or anywhere else earlier in the year. So I feel like his priorities are just different. He's happy here. His family's happy here. He has leverage over the whole situation.
Well, so we're saying the same thing.
And he doesn't want to go.
So if this is the only option, I don't think they're going to be able to move him.
The only argument I could hear is if somebody said, well, he really didn't take the postseason well. And now he knows the goalie rotation is pretty much dead, and he's going to be a backup, and that has changed his perspective. But he just doesn't strike me as that kind of guy.
No, he doesn't care. He's been benched 2 postseasons in a row. Three kind of. I don't even know what to refer to last year. He got 1 game in last year's postseason.
He didn't get benched. I mean, they went with the other guy.
Right. That's a better way to put it. He got 1 game last year. He was benched the 2 years before that. He didn't seem to care. I agree. He doesn't care. And so
maybe he's just petty. It's like, we want to trade you. No.
I mean, maybe.
I don't think so.
The fact that they're running out of options is a little scary because I don't believe he's going to say, yeah, trade me to Ottawa. I'd love to go there. I don't think that's in the cards. I would love it to be, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And there are enough teams out there, as we're seeing right now, because they're already starting to make moves. There's enough teams out there that need goalie help. And I think that the no trade clause is just so restrictive and such a problem here because you would think, as most people would think, it's not that big of a deal to put something like that, a no movement clause in when there's a situation like this. And you're not talking about the top goalie in the league or anything. He was last year, I guess, but this year, he came back to earth, and you're not talking about someone who's in that mix every single year, like Shesterkin or somebody. So I don't know. I mean, you can't ever predict the behavior of somebody, but I think in this case, they really thought they had an idea of what any competitor would do and how they'd react to a situation like this, and they were just wrong.
A normal athlete, a normal competitive human being would say, oh, I'm not the guy anymore. You're going to bench me? You don't want me to start in the postseason? Oh, I'm a competitor.
I'll show you.
I will go. Exactly.
I'm not going anywhere.
And what they realized is this guy's a giant wuss and doesn't care and doesn't have a competitive bone in his body. And so you might be stuck with him because I don't think Ottawa's going to bring him in.
It reminds me of, is it Seinfeld where someone tries to break up with George?
I don't think he'll approve a trade to Ottawa is what I mean to say. I think Ottawa's in. Say it again. Is it
Seinfeld where someone tries to break up with George and he just is like, no? Or is it the other way around?
It's, I think, does he avoid
No,
her?
he avoids the phone calls.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
I just missed you. Right, yeah. That was a pretty good strategy. It's not his worst strategy he's ever had on that show.
George?
Not his worst plan.
Oh, he's definitely had worse plans than that.
Oh, yeah, it was a pretty good one.
No, that is a good one. Yeah. Just you can't break up with me if you can't find me.
Mm-hmm. Which was in a time when that was possible. It's not possible
Is it possible
anymore.
That's what Ullmark's doing?
Maybe. Yeah,
Telling
maybe.
his agent, block that number. Don't pick it up.
Could be that. Oh, my cell service doesn't work here in Sweden. Sorry. So you can vote or jump in, rather, on this topic. 617-779-7937.
No, I don't think so.
We've discussed quite a bit. Wait, Linus, stand by. Linus, we don't like you anymore. The Senators are really interested in making you their starting goaltender.
We don't like you anymore.
Any interest in going to Ottawa?
No, I don't think so.